Okay, fam, welcome back. So today we're going to be going over the grayscale trusts. With that being said, let's get it. Okay, so first thing I wanted to tell y'all is Merry Christmas because the time, perhaps for some of you, perhaps the time that you see this, it will be Christmas. So Merry Christmas to you and your families and everybody else. So the next thing that I wanted to say is happy holidays, enjoy your weekend. Hopefully those of you guys that are getting Christmas off don't have to work like the day after Christmas, right? Hopefully you can get like a week off paid for or something like that. That would always be nice, right? So the next thing I wanted to go over is actually something that I'm sure probably none of you were expecting is coming, but here it is. So I'm going to make a short video tomorrow, probably much later in the evening, talking about some very secret knowledge that the world does not yet currently know anything about. And whatever you guys think it is going to be in the back of your mind, throw it out the window because it's probably going to be completely far off to left field from anything you think that I'm going to discuss with you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the content. All right, so I'm going to start with LTCN. We'll actually briefly touch on Bitcoin and crypto as well. So Bitcoin is actually looking pretty good. It has had a nice little bounce pretty much right off of all of where these wick lows are here. This is kind of to be expected. It did the same thing, similar back here. I'm thinking likely Bitcoin's probably going to hold this level, but we'll just have to wait and see on that. So Bitcoin, altcoins getting a nice little surge here. All right, so let's get into LTCN. Okay, so the buy zone still remains the same. It's pretty much anywhere in this channel. So 13 going all the way up to 1760. I will tell you guys that this support likely probably is going to hold. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't, because you guys can see the lows on these candles down here. They continue to become progressively higher. So creating higher lows and higher highs. It's kind of an ugly formation, but last time we saw something like this, actually the last two times we saw something like this, it did end up leading to a melt up where the prices ended up going much, much higher. I can't tell you guys what to do with your money, but if you're in profit at one point, look, the reality is, dude, unless you're staking your crypto or shorting the markets, the only way to make money in these particular assets right here as a long is to take profits off the table when, the price goes up, whether it hits your ideal benchmark that you're looking for in terms of price or not. Because there's a lot of people that will get into this space and they'll buy even at lows or chase the rally on the way up, and they'll hold their bags all the way down and make absolutely nothing during the market, staring at their numbers on the screen, thinking it's cool, sharing it with their friends. But at the end of the day, the reality is they're left in the exact same boat that they came here in. So I can tell you guys right now, I don't want to be that guy, and I would obviously like it if you guys were not that guy too, but of course it's your own decision. Okay, so yeah, I'm definitely expecting to melt up here at some point. When exactly it's going to happen, why it's going to happen, that remains to be seen. So levels above head 25 to 27, 54 for the swing high up here, for potentially about a 315% gain. There has been some green on the day. Again, both the NASDAQ and Bitcoin were up today. I think maybe all of the indices were up. I'm not entirely sure. Let's take a look at that. Yeah. Okay. So it appears that we may perhaps still be getting that Christmas rally. It looks like pretty much all of the indices were up. So yeah, those went up. The miners went up a little bit. Bitcoin went up a little bit. So everything was pretty green across the board. That's obviously a good sign, right? Okay. So inverse head and shoulders here, pattern forming on BCHG. The target for that beyond the breakout point would be roughly about $13.90 per share. This support zone should theoretically hold. We had one little candle that came back down, bounced off the support, went immediately back up, and we've been above it ever since. So we'll have to see if that remains true going forward in time or not. But as of right now, support is going to be 530 to 580 here. Your levels above head, for those of you guys that, you just have to get out for small profits, you're not willing to wait. I get it. I understand the sometimes temperament of retail traders. I totally get it. Trust me, been there, done that. 1025 to 1225 above head, and then above that you got 18 to about 24. Okay, so about a 320% gain on this one. HZEN, nice little green pop up on the day. It does. I'm actually not. Well, you know what? Let me go down to the daily time frame on this one because I'm not so sure about this one. It looks a little odd on the weekly. Yeah, okay, so I'm not really willing to say that this is a bull flag anymore. I mean, it came down below the flag on the daily and got back above it, so that, in my opinion, kind of negates the pattern. If it had not broken down like that, I would say the bull flag is still intact. But you guys, if you understand how TA works, you would understand that it's possible for a move to be negated as well as to be confirmed. Okay, so Horizon, or HZEN, I mean, we're still looking at this potential structure here as support, $5. And then targets ranging anywhere from $6.75 going all the way up to $12.30 for about 145% gain at the maximum measured point there. ETCG, so we did get back below the structure. It appears that we also closed below it again, so that's not great. I'll say somewhere around the EMAs could be a good buy zone. So 1120 going up to probably about 1280, 13-ish, somewhere in there. I'd have my sight set up here at 1850 to 20. You guys can obviously, if you're looking to sell your bags, you can do it wherever you want to because it's your money, right? 78% gain. ETH, nice little bounce off support. That's not really shocking. We just need to get above this white line here at about 36, and it should be ripping pretty fast after that, I would think. Okay, so buy zone, pretty much anywhere in this green box, so 23, 25 to 28 and a quarter. Target would be the cup and handle up there at 53 for roughly about 120% gain. And then you have, obviously, you can see the huge, massive cup and handle, right? That entire cut pattern took like a couple of years to play out, so it is still valid until it hits the target, and I can't imagine it's not going to hit the target before the end of the bull run because, again, the timing of the crypto cycles, we should still roughly have about 12 months left. Okay, so let's see here. GBAT, so we got to close above the EMAs, so I would say maybe anywhere between $7.80 going up to $10. Good buy point. Of course, you have this level down here for 30 to 520 as a potential buy area. If you guys didn't get it down there and you think it's going to go back down there, maybe just wait for that level, 32, as the profit target. So just measuring from the current point going up roughly about 320%. However, if it does pull back into this green box below, which I highly doubt it's going to do at this point, especially going into Q1 of next year, we should start having an alt season pretty soon. So 660% in that case. Or, alternatively, if you were buying down at those levels and you've just been holding your bags, then obviously you got nothing to worry about, right? You're just waiting for the price to moonshot. Okay, so FILG. Nice little double bottom W pattern. We did get a push above the EMAs. Now we're retesting. That's a good sign. So theoretically, the way that this should play out if it is to continue is it should do something like this and then come back, kind of probably test right around this area, somewhere in there, and then push up. We should see something like that. Again, obviously that's not a guarantee, but that's kind of how structure works. In case you guys were wondering, or the EMAs, right? If there's a retest of the EMAs and the EMAs hold a bull trend, especially in the weekly time frame, flipping from bearish to bullish above the indicator, then theoretically it should bounce, push up. The EMAs will follow suit, lagging behind, and then a retest of some kind of structure level, maybe around this zone, and then push up again. And the EMAs, though obviously as the price pulls back, it'll come back and test the EMAs as the trend continues to the upside. Okay, so buy zones here, 60 to about that 65-ish. Target going all the way up here to 400 for roughly about a 545% gain. GLIV had a nice green day, 27%. It was actually the biggest green day of all of these. It's quite shocking. Okay, so I'm gonna move this zone over a little bit so we can see it nice and clear. So we're above the zone but below the EMAs, so I would say maybe anywhere between this 1170 going all the way up to 1950, somewhere in there, which is that structure level, could be a potentially good area to buy. And then the all-time high would be the target up here, so 80. And this move would be about 565% gain. G-Link, same thing as FILG, so we went from flipping a bearish trend below the EMAs. Now we're back to bullish above the EMAs, above the zone. That's obviously a very good sign. That means that this thing is in a bull trend, assuming it creates higher lows and higher highs. Okay, so for any pullback buy area, I'd be looking somewhere between 71.50 to about 95. The all-time high would be the target at 220 for roughly about a 205% gain. GSOL finally had a little bit of green here and also a green week. It does look like maybe there is someone that's trying to buy these lows down here. Just understand that that does actually happen pretty frequently. I can show you guys. These are smart money moves, by the way, too. Okay, for people that there's various different strategies out there. I haven't even showed you guys all the strategies you can use for smart money, but people generally, especially traders that look at these charts, that trade often, swing trading, day trading, options, whatever, they'll see zones like these and want to get in them. Okay, even if they're not at swing highs and swing lows, you can see this particular zone right here, right around this, before the stock split, 64 to 70 was getting bought up multiple times. Why? Because the price just kept popping up until eventually it broke down. And on the flip side, you kind of have your, let's say like this general area right here, you kind of have your bear zone or sell zone between 95 to 113, where maybe some shorts were trying to come in here and short these highs, or people were taking profit at those levels that we're buying down here. So you got to understand how this game works. In terms of psychology and trading perspective, to really kind of truly grasp in the bigger picture where things likely could be going. Okay, and of course you guys can see way back here we also had lows kind of pretty much around the same level we're seeing now, all the way back in December, November of 23 and January of 24. So yeah, basically pretty much what a trader will do is they'll say, okay, I see we're coming up on a swing low here. Where was that on the chart on the left? They'll take this, they'll look to the left, and they'll say, oh, okay, it was a level back here, maybe back here, and then they'll kind of mark that as a potential buy zone or a sell zone. Anyways, enough about that. I'm sure you guys are not here for that, but yeah, I just wanted to share that with you anyways. So we're still within this buy zone, so that could be anywhere from 24 to 51, or you get that 275, 215. It's hard to say at this point. I do think Solana will definitely go higher before the end of this bull run. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't. So 70 to potentially 115 as the targets here. So for the first measurement, roughly about 410% gain. For the second one, assuming you get lucky enough to buy down here and it goes way back up here or even higher, 3,730% gain. It's possible. It's absolutely possible. Okay, so GXLM, we are kind of getting to that area I told you guys about, so that 36 to 40, right between structure and between the EMAs, which is pretty much where I expect it's going to stop before it eventually bounces back up again. So you got your levels up here at 52 to 58, and then above that you have 74 to roughly about 96. So as much as 61% and then as high as 163% move. Mana. So yeah, this thing didn't really do much this week. It kind of is just sitting flat. Again, I think a lot of these are probably waiting for all season, but this is a pretty bullish pattern. Okay, you have a potential double bottom down here and also a W pattern. It's just a question of breaking this neckline up here and then getting above it. So since this is mostly consolidation, I would say probably somewhere between 1015 to 1950 could be a nice, good, solid range to buy. Again, that's mainly just an accumulation block right there, like I told you guys about. And then the target would be the all-time highs or even above the all-time highs if you're looking for higher prices. Okay, so potentially 565% gain here. Zcash, last one. Okay, so we are holding the structure pretty nicely right here. That's good to see. I would still say right around that $6 could be a good buy area. And then above head, you have targets at 8 to 950, 14 all the way up to 1740. Pick your poison on that one. You could wait for it to go even higher than that if you want to, 57% and 185%. All right, hope you all enjoyed this content. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.